Back to the rings. Everything felt different, Everything felt different. All the exercises, doing everything. As you can see, why? Because they're moving. They are moving like myself, like my body, like all the muscles, everything inside of us, around us, usually is in movement, in constant movement. Even when you sleep, when you're sleeping, your mind, your inner, you're dreaming, something is always in movement. If you're sitting still, meditating, you let it flow. Yet it's a movement, some kind of movement. Without getting too much into detail on that. And for myself, I was truly hooked by it. I was truly hooked by the rings. Why? They felt so natural. The movements felt different, yet natural. And something like a dip, what I can do now, but as you can see, it's not flowing like on the bars. If you're on a dip bar, outside in a calisthenics park, it's not the same. That got me my inner fire back. I was like, that is it. That's the best investment I could ever have done for myself, doing sports, doing movements, being outside, connecting them with nature. There's certain ways to connect them, right? Let your inspiration flow, and I think you can always find a way somewhere, somewhere, and to connect them somehow. And the first thing for me, as I wanted to get on the rings. Yet, important thing also, we will do that later in certain episodes and, videos, warming up. I warmed up before, just to mention that here. Been doing some sports today, walking, hiking around, moving. So my shoulders are warmed up, the wrists, the arms, the whole body, warming it up. Essential, avoiding injuries, especially, if you're working out in general, I think it's one of the most important parts and triggered parts I forgot sometimes in the past. And sometimes I noticed what can happen if you forget to warm up. Yeah. Hurting yourself and being sorry afterwards, like, hey, I have to stop, minimize my workout because it was really sometimes injuries or sometimes almost injuries, if you know what I mean, feeling it during your training and not being in the zone. So essential part, warming up. And, wrist, 1 or 2 easy movements I can directly show you, like this, the wrist circles in both directions, like this. Also, on off days or every day, stretches like that, in both directions, like this on the floor also. And so you warm up really the wrist, forearm, essential shoulders, like this, for example, just to show you something. So, stretches for the chest, on a tree, on a wall, to open the chest. More than later. So, if we want to have the video here, right, for 1 hour or something, the first one, might cut that down. Yeah, down there, I don't know if the camera picks it up or the sound. There's the main trail, so I can hear and see a lot of people. Yet I'm some kind of alone up here, alone by myself as a human. See and hear a lot of birds around. Beautiful. Yet, back to the rings. Why are they so amazing? Because they are in movement. And the funny thing about it is they adjust to your level. You can do something like this, for example. A stretch like that. A stretch. A little push-up, as you can see. It's not that much. And for that, I love the rings. Because if you still only, so to call only, doing that, they're still moving and flowing, right? With your wrist and movements. You can attack the muscles in a whole different way. And the muscles and your body notice that. As I showed you before. The first time I got up here, I was like shaking. It was really like, what? So the first rep was like, really, am I in a different world? Now I understand. If you watched some videos or seen the Olympics, or even some calisthenics athlete doing those crazy flags, muscle ups, front lever, yet people doing them on the rings. Now I understand something totally different. New approach. And it got me back on track. Really. So I've been throwing out a lot of details, information here. There's so much more to talk about. Always the machete here to clean it up, to clean up the place, yet putting them back in a safe place. Don't want to injure myself. And yeah, the nature part of it. Thinking about one of my biggest inspirations, being inspired, staying inspired. What helped me also, book, a biography about Bruce Lee. Throwing out the name, huh? I've been talking a little bit about him in 1 or 2 videos in the past, really scratching the upper level, diving more into the life of him. Wow. The podcast also done by his daughter is also a big recommendation. I cannot emphasize it anymore. For myself also, this is a talk, it continues to be a diary, audio, visual diary for myself, to reassure myself of the path I'm on, to adjust, to think about, and using tools, if you like, working out, like the rings, going out into nature, feeling this special connection, seeing other people doing the same. And I can truly say I'm grateful. I'm absolutely 100% grateful for what was given to me and for the certain doors that are opening. Doors like the offer to buy those rings. And I took it. And I want to show you why I love them so much going forward. Also, the other factors that played a role. Essentially, I was looking for, I mentioned the passion, the fire inside, my essence. Everyone has it, Some have forgotten it, some are living it out, and some are on some kind of surface level, diving in, going back up. Each and everyone is different, as we know. And me, myself, included, full of life, yet in all directions. Finding the focus, the energy, the strength, the health, also being really grateful for my health. And certain doors, they are opening to go through. Take a look and think about it. And then if it feels right, this kind of inner voice was calling, then do it. Try it out. And if you then stay consistent on something, and for the now, I stay consistent and I want to stay consistent going forward because that is my passion. Working out, being in movement, moving the body, connecting with the world around, whatever it might be, animals, plants, nature, everything, humans, the energy around, pouring it out, sharing it with other people. That is it for me. So I can be grateful. I can do it. I can move my body, finding new levels and finding this passion again, this fire, and feeling it and sharing it also, because what helped me was other people sharing their stories, their histories, their path, and approaches. Like Bruce Lee, what I mentioned. There's so many others, not so famous people around, neighbors, and so on and so on. Your family, friends, co-workers. The list goes on and on, right? And I wanted to mention, essentially, Bruce Lee also. He's famous for various reasons. Also for his philosophy, for his mindset, for his workout routines, his approaches to martial arts, right? First mixed martial arts artist, one of the most famous ones definitely, who took it to another level. Also because of the mental game, the mindset, essential part of life for each and everyone, I think. And especially also for me, for someone who gets distracted so easily. The topics I was always talking about played a big role in my life. Yet I was talking about living out some of them to a certain degree, to a certain level. Yet really living them out, like really living out this essence means something different. And it's a path that never actually ends as a certain stop physically and spiritually, and so on and so on. Yet it continues until it doesn't, right? Yet once it started and you feel it, like the rings, like the rings. Yeah, essential part, working out. And we go from there. We go from there, working out the body, using the rings. Also, as you can see on the logo, the barbell, kettlebells, the nature, water, the city, forest, the sun. It concludes essential parts, what I want to show you and what I want to show myself and continue to live out for myself. Thanks to everyone now anonymously that has helped me, that has always supported me and took me to that point, because this is also, really a video about self-reflection. It's not only about the working out and this and that, using the machete, having great friends and dogs, more on that later, and, enjoying life. No, it's also the tough work, the hard work. We're falling down mentally, physically, spiritually, different for each and everyone, right? Yet I think if we come closer and closer together, if you find people around you, like-minded people, also people that might think differently, yet that have an open heart and want to help, to share, there's always a solution to get back on track. No matter what it is, it might be something like me being stuck, and might be a job, might be relations, might be working out, might be health, might be so many things. And without rating them, worse and better, without doing that, because I don't want to do it because it's so different and unique and individual. Yet if you break it down to the core, I personally think for each and everyone, there is help. There is a help, there's a solution. And I want to share that with the people who understand and maybe might be interested in working out, finding something interesting for a workout there without some kind of promotion. Just a tool. And also elements like the nature, going with the process, going with the flow. So I want to wish everyone strength and health and the energy and the inspiration and, really the mindset or the open heart to find your essence, to find your.
So, as I see, now in post-production, really interesting. Yeah, the audio recording stopped and the video continued. And as I was saying, I don't know the exact 100% word, so it's not lip syncing. Yet, I want to give you a little, overview, of course, how I closed out that video. And I was being grateful, really, to the people around that helped me get back on track. So I want to do the same and wish you, everyone out there, lots of success, strength, health, the power to continue, to endure, and not only endure, but to improve the situation and to find help and a solution on your path, on your journey. And I'm being grateful that I can do that right now, presenting my inner essence, really finding that more and more step by step, each and every day, and being on that journey, especially working out. Yeah, one of my absolute biggest interests, and sharing that with you, everyone out there. And I'm really excited to see, to hear, to read what's coming back and feedback. And I'm really interested in that, as sharing is caring, as you can say. Sharing is really so important. Thank you very much. Wish you all the best and see you in the next one. Have a good one.